Yama, I'm Jack Evans and you're watching BTN. Here's what's coming up. We find out what issues matter to you this election. Learn about the scientists trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. And meet some students who run a cafe at school. But first today, the Prime Minister has officially called a federal election for the 3rd of May, which means Aussies will be heading to the polls to vote for their preferred political party. But what exactly is a political party, and does it have anything to do with cake? Let's find out.
All right, we have a lot of parties happening all at once, so I need everyone's full attention. Right, can I get a report on where we are streamer-wise? And where is the cake?
Oh, I'm not sure. Let me investigate.
During an election, you're bound to hear a lot about parties. But they're not exactly the type of parties that come with cake and balloons. They're political parties. You see, in a federal election, you don't vote for the Prime Minister. You vote for a party. They're groups of individuals who share common beliefs about how the country should be run. And they work together to push for policies that align with those beliefs. You're probably familiar with the two major parties and their leaders, the Labor Party and the Liberal Party. They're the biggest parties, which is why they're called major. And for more than 80 years, every Australian Prime Minister has come from one of these two parties.
Okay, we have two major parties, people, so look alive. The Labor Party, hosted by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, is in function room number 1, and they want red balloons, all right? Red balloons, that's very important.
Traditionally, the Labor Party has advocated for workers' rights, social equality, and universal healthcare. This election, it says it'll be focusing on strengthening Medicare, cutting HECS debt to help out students, as well as lowering taxes, giving relief on energy prices, and helping more Aussies build houses.
All right, the Liberal Party, hosted by opposition leader Peter Dutton, is in function room 2 with the blue balloons, all right? Blue balloons.
Historically, the Australian Liberal Party promotes individual freedom and helping out businesses big and small. They say this election they'll also be focusing on boosting Medicare and making housing and energy more affordable, as well as lowering inflation and petrol prices and investing in stronger defence and border security.
All right, well, that's the major parties sorted. Now on to the minor parties.
Some of which you've probably heard of before. The Nationals is a minor party that focuses on boosting regional communities, and they partner with the Liberal Party to form the coalition. It's part of an arrangement where they work closely together. By doing so, the Nationals help the Liberals secure enough seats to form a government. And if elected, their leader becomes the Deputy Prime Minister.
Oh, I guess now the green balloons are for...
The Greens, sir?
No, the Greens don't want balloons, they're not biodegradable.
Another well-known minor party is the Greens, who focus on environmental issues and social justice policies. There are heaps of other minor parties, some that were started by politicians who left major parties. In fact, anyone can start a minor political party as long as you can gather 1,500 members. Finally, there are the independents. They're politicians who choose not to belong to any political party. Although in recent years, some independents who share similar beliefs have grouped together and are often referred to as
teal! I said teal balloons, not turquoise.
These were teal.
Independents can influence decision-making by representing their own ideas and the concerns of their local communities. And while they don't make up the majority of Parliament, their vote can sometimes decide if a bill is passed or not.
Oh, right, well, I think that's everything. Now we just have to wait for the guests to arrive. Are you eating cake?
No.
Over the coming weeks, all of those parties will be campaigning to try to win votes from Aussies, talking about their plans to solve the country's big issues. But we wanted to know what you care about this election and sent to Tender to find out.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Grab a seat.
Oh, we're twins.
You're twins, I knew it.
Hello.
Hey, so what do we know about the election?
I think it's going to be pretty tight, to be honest, and I'm really intrigued of what the result's going to be. So that's going to be pretty
also,
cool.
like, I've seen posters going around for, like, Peter Dutton and then also Anthony Albanese, like, around my house.
It'll probably be big. Every election always has like a lot of drama in it.
What big issues do you think they should care about?
Pretty sure vandalism is like already illegal, like racism, stuff like that. But I think they should be more picky about it because people still do it and like it's really rude.
Well, inflation.
Yeah.
That's a big thing because prices are going high, like very high.
Yeah, and lots of people are losing jobs and homes, and some are having to take on multiple jobs.
The price is going up a lot because, like, when we become adults, maybe, like, a chocolate bar might cost, like, $100 or something like that.
We don't want $100 chocolate.
No, yeah.
We do not.
It's getting harder for, like, teenagers and young adults to afford, like, groceries.
Your average weekly shopping now would be like $300 to $200.
Protecting our wildlife because Australia has a very diverse range of wildlife.
And also smoking is pretty, like a hazard thing too, because like people mostly die and have lung cancer because of those things. And then also there's like a lot of stress going on, and then they always use cigarettes, so they should use something else, like
watch a tutorial how to relieve
like breathing exercises.
Do you think kids really care about politics?
I think it just depends on like what they're interested in, because like politics can be really boring and stuff. I think kids do find it interesting because there was like, oh, what's going to happen with this? What's going to happen with that? So,
and it depends about like the age level, because you get more intelligent over time.
Do you think kids should vote?
Not really, because well, some people maybe at like 10 years old might not really know what it's really about.
Well, I think kids should have a say.
The age restriction should be like 14 to 16.
Not really little kids because they might just be like, I want more lollipops. But like kids our age, like grown-ups don't always have like the same opinions as kids, so.
Like Mariah said, some little kids will probably just care about lollipops, more playtime.
Those are real issues.
Yeah, but they're for the school and your daycare, not for like the Prime Minister.
If you could give the Prime Minister one piece of advice, what would it be?
To start making actions on climate change.
Climate change is really, it's harder probably to play sports outside if it's going to get hotter as well.
Can you lower the age for the social media ban?
Well, I don't think the social media ban should be for 16, maybe for 15 and a half.
No, 13-year-olds.
15.
13.
15.
If you had to pick characteristics that make someone a good leader, what would they be?
Well, leading by example. Probably someone who cares about everyone.
Someone who's good at making decisions, who listens to other people.
If they promise to do something really good, they stick to their promise.
Well, thanks guys. Thanks for joining me.
What big mistake did the US National Security Advisor Michael Waltz make last week? He accidentally added a journalist to a group chat about secret military details, he accidentally sent a meme to the president, or he sent a top-secret email to the wrong person. He accidentally added a journalist to a group chat and shared secret military details. American journalist Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic was added to the group chat of top US officials. They didn't realize he was there and started talking about some potentially sensitive stuff, like attack plans in the Middle East. It's raised serious concerns about security, and an investigation has been launched. What unusual item did Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young bring into the Senate chamber? A plastic bag full of seaweed, a salmon, or a piece of coral?
for a rotten, stinking extinction salmon.
Yep, Senator Hanson-Young whipped out the salmon to protest the government's decision to change environmental laws to protect the salmon farming industry in Tasmania's Macquarie Harbour. What planet's rings have recently disappeared from view? Is it Neptune, Jupiter, or Saturn? It's Saturn, but don't worry, they're still there. It's just that our current view of the planet means we're looking at its famous rings edge on, making it impossible for telescopes on Earth to see them. And what world record did this cat just break? It's got the longest tail on a living domestic feline. Mr. Pugsley Adams, yes, that is his real name, is a Maine Coon cat from the US, and his tail measures in at almost 47 centimetres.
We're watching BTN from Mammoth Primary School.
Now to some mammoth news. Seriously, it's about mammoths and one US company's quest to bring them back. Justina found out more.
The woolly mammoth, titans of the Ice Age, roamed our frozen landscapes until they vanished around 4,000 years ago. But now, in the name of science, they have returned. Well, sort of. Meet the woolly mouse. Created by an American biotech company.
They were significantly cuter than we, originally anticipated.
But these little fluff balls are more than just cute. They're actually a mammoth step forward in Colossal's grand plan to bring a woolly mammoth-like creature back to Earth.
So we actually engineered mouse equivalent of mammoth genes that we've identified on our quest to bring back the mammoth.
Yep, Ben and his team have used a lot of time and a lot of science to edit the genes of these mice so that their fur has almost the exact same traits as the woolly mammoth.
We focus mostly on woolly hair and also a gene that's associated with fat.
And their plan is to eventually try the same thing on an Asian elephant, to create a modern-day mammoth-like animal that can live in Arctic conditions.
Asian elephants are closer genetically to mammoths than Asian elephants are to African elephants. It's not possible to clone an extinct species. It is possible to do functional de-extinction, where we're bringing back those core phenotypes or physical traits, and then looking at those traits that we can then rewild back into their natural habitat.
So why go to all that effort?
Because we're looking to lose up to 50% of all biodiversity between now and 2050 if we don't do anything.
Yeah, because of things like climate change and habitat loss from human impact, species extinctions are happening faster than ever. And these scientists reckon what they're working on today could end up helping endangered species in the future.
We know that ecosystems that are more biodiverse are more robust and resilient. And we hope that by reestablishing these interactions, by protecting species from becoming extinct, we will protect and preserve biodiversity that will help stabilize ecosystems and stop the loss of species today.
And they're not stopping at the mammoth. They're also planning to bring back the dodo, which once roamed the island of Mauritius. And they're even working with Aussie scientists to bring back Australia's thylacine, also known as the Tassie tiger, which went extinct almost 90 years ago. But not everyone's convinced this is a good idea. And we all saw how Jurassic Park turned out.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
In fact, some experts reckon extinctions are a normal part of the evolutionary process, and reintroducing extinct species could mess up current ecosystems, while others say genetically modifying animals raises some ethical concerns, and that the time and resources spent on de-extinction could be better used to protect and conserve existing endangered species and their habitats.
Even if you could do that to an Asian elephant, that's not resurrecting anything. They're taking mouse mutations and putting it into an elephant.
For now, Colossal still has a lot to figure out, and it'll probably be a while before we see something like this roaming Earth again. In the meantime, could we see those mice again? Oh, they're just so cute!
Did you know the last known Tasmanian tiger, or thylacine, died in captivity on September 7, 1936 at the Beaumaris Zoo in Hobart, Tasmania? It's often called Benjamin, but no one actually knows if that was its real name.
We are watching BTN from East Hampton Primary School.
Wednesday, the 2nd of April, is World Autism Awareness Day, a day all about highlighting the need to increase understanding, acceptance and support for people on the autism spectrum. To find out more, we're going to meet 15-year-old Patrick, who is autistic and non-speaking. Take a look.
So we've got coffee socks and we've got the goat socks.
Right.
So which ones do you want to wear this morning? G O A T S O C K S. Goat socks. Brilliant. Oh, there we go.
My name is Patrick. I am 15 years old. I love to bushwalk, swim and spell. Sometimes asking questions is fun. I use the letterboard to communicate because I am non-speaking. Non-speaking means I can't talk. I am autistic and have apraxia and developmental coordination disorder. I spell words by pointing to a letterboard held by a communication and regulation partner. They hold the letterboard because I have motor planning differences and struggle to regulate my body and use purposeful motor movements. My body is a mind of its own, and I am not always in control of my arms. I sometimes point to the wrong letter because my arms don't work together with my brain. They call this proprioception, where a person doesn't understand where their body is in time and space. I need a communication and regulation partner to help me by training my arm and finger and ocular eye movements.
You got it. Eyes on. L.
I appreciate them because everyone thinks spelling is easy, but it involves a complex approach that requires age-based curriculum and a series of activities to teach my motor planning. I spell non-speaking and not nonverbal because nonverbal means without words, and I am not without words. I have plenty to spell and I am intelligent. I use the word spell instead of write because I can't hold a pencil and write to communicate. Terminology is important to me because I am autistic and don't have autism. It's my identity, but it doesn't define me. When people use the correct terminology, I feel awesome and valued. The medical model of disability sees people as broken and need fixing. I prefer the social model of disability because people don't need fixing, they need to be accommodated and included. Everyone is different and needs to be involved in decisions in their own life. Society needs to cater for our needs and adjust what they do and accommodate our individual needs, wants and dreams. When I went to school, I was treated poorly. Teachers treated me like a baby and like I don't understand anything. They asked me if I was intellectually challenged and if I can do anything. I want autistic non-speakers to have opportunities. We have human rights like neurotypical people and deserve to be treated fairly. You can change the world by presuming competence and believing in someone and providing them with opportunities. I wish people saw me as a person who was intelligent and able to achieve anything.
Come on, Patrick, keep going.
I am going to change my life, but you could change many by asking us to be your friend. My dream is to become famous and to ask autism organizations to include autistic non-speakers in decision-making about policies and procedures in their organization.
It was one of the most moving speeches I've heard in this place in 19 years.
I plan on going to university to study disability advocacy and also becoming the world's first autistic non-speaking hiking guide.
Good on you.
You can change the world when you give people who are non-speaking an opportunity to be included.
Aussie golfer Minwoo Lee has won the Houston Open.
Promises realized. Minwoo Lee is a PGA Tour champion.
Despite one of his early shots missing the green and landing under a bush, It is a difficult situation, that's for sure. We're fortunate to have found the ball. He quickly recovered and scored his very first PGA Tour win by just one shot. Now to cricket, and South Australia has broken a 29-year drought to claim the Sheffield Shield. SA was taking on Queensland in the final over the weekend. Jason Sangha starred with the bat, leading the team to the 4-wicket win.
After 29 years, South Australia got the Shield back in their hands.
And finally, if you think riding downhill through the narrow streets of a town in Mexico sounds terrifying, then yeah, you'd be right. This is the final of the Cerro Abajo series, which is basically a high-speed downhill race for glory. And Colombia's Juanfer Velez took out the win for the 3rd year in a row.
Finally, I went along to check out Ngani Café at Nuru College in Adelaide. It's run by students and offers up coffee as well as food that's been sourced from the school's veggie garden. Check it out.
These students at Nuru College are getting a lesson on how to prepare food, customer service, and...
you make a pretty good cup of coffee.
Thank you.
Ngani is a cafe, like a place to gather and chat and get some coffee and food.
It is a cafe that brings public together, but also has an opportunity for young people to work from our school.
Ngani Café, which means gathering place in Ghana, opened earlier this year at the school and is partly run by students.
My involvement is like doing coffees, front of house, and a little bit of the back of house.
I do like a lot of the food stuff, like cooking and making sandwiches.
Hoping to provide a safe place for our young people to learn skills, develop confidence in employment.
Andrew Plasto is the head of the school and says these guys are learning a lot of great skills that could help them get a job in hospitality in the future.
I learn a lot about food safety and a lot about just being in a kitchen and stuff like that.
I'm trying to do the arts right now on the coffees. That was my first best one I did before.
The best part, working here counts towards their SACE, which is South Australia's high school certificate.
Our lesson is called Workplace Practices, where we research and put our learning from the cafe and our research towards our assignment, which then will eventually go towards SACE.
The cafe also utilises the school veggie patch, offering up a variety of native dishes.
A lot of the produce that we use comes from the garden. Sometimes we plan out what we want to grow and we plant it and we take care of it and then we harvest it.
The native ingredients that we use at the cafe is lemon myrtle, which is a great source of vitamin C and it's great for the immune system. The other native ingredients we use is munchies and it's like a little fruit, like an apple.
Why do you think it's important to use native foods?
So we can keep our culture around the school and bring more culture into the school.
These guys say the cafe has been a great way to prepare them for their future, as well as connect with the local community.
I think being taught all these skills at such a young age can then lead me to any pathway down in the future.
I'll get to talk to more people. I don't like talking to people much, but at school I do. I talk heaps at school.
I really want to go into a chef kind of career path, so I think here's a great place for me to start.
Well, that's all we've got for you today and for the term. But before we go, we have one last bit of news for you. Amelia has had her baby. Little Sunny was born last week and as you can see is very cute. Aww. Well, we'll be taking a break for a few weeks. In the meantime, you can stay up to date with Newsbreak every weeknight and there's plenty to see and do on our website. Have an awesome holidays and I'll see you next time. Bye!